Hi again and welcome back to another video. In today's video I've got the Cursed Armor origin created by 𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼. This is an older origin, so I'm using it on 1.17.1. Also, if you want a video going over how to install and download custom origins, let me know in the comments down below. I'm probably going to make one for my second channel at some point in the very near future. Without further ado though, let's begin the origins. So, Cursed Armor is a 3-impact origin. You're a product of a fallen soldier, a spirit who could never rest in peace. Hunting the armor of its former self, this creature roams the vast world alone. Curse and bind. Your soul is forever bound to your former armor. So, the first thing you'll notice is that you have no armor right now. And we're back. So, one thing to keep in mind is that this is actually on 1.16 only. There's some weird changes that happen between 1.16 and 1.17 that some abilities don't quite translate correctly. So in this version, you'll actually have armor on that you can't get rid of. As you can see, they're cursed. Wait, hold on. Oh, you can take them off in creative mode but non-survival mode. That's interesting. But yeah, you spawn with iron armor by default, which are cursed. These are cursed armor, you can't get rid of them. You can't upgrade them, you can't enchant them, these are just how they are. There's nothing else you can do with this armor. Load carrier. Be it because of your sorrows or the heavy armor your spirit carries, you're slower than average. So again, just like another origin from the other day, you're a lot slower when you're not sprinting. When you're sprint jumping, you're you're a fair bit slower than normal speed, but it's kind of manageable. It's not horrible to deal with type slowness. You're a lot slower when you're walking, but sprinting and jumping is ultimately fine. It's not too crazy. It's just whenever you're walking, it's stupendously slow, and it's definitely going to be something you want to keep in mind. Uncomfortable. You're unable to handle a bow or crossbow. You are specialized in melee combat. As it says there, you just can't use a bow or a crossbow. Man, I'm so glad I got all these little indicators of these origins. And you can see, I'm right clicking. I'll even show you. Right clicking, scroll down, right clicking. Here's your left click. That's your right click. Nothing's happening because it doesn't work. Old teachings. When you were alive, you were a skilled soldier, and therefore you possess abilities that increase your melee attack by 4 damage. That is a major thing to keep in mind. The fact that you will do an increased amount of damage just because you were around for time. Let's grab ourselves the favorable husk. Everyone's favorite friend. We're in your zone. 1, 2. 2 shots with a diamond sword. Non-crits. What if we crit 2 shots? I mean, that doesn't really do much, really. What if we get ourselves a netherite sword? Upgrade to it. We get ourselves another husk. 1, 2, 2 normal hits, and then 2 crit hits. So on the wider scale, when it comes to lower health mobs with diamond and netherite tools, it's not going to be too notable of a difference. But I believe if we go down to just grab our other swords, 1, 2, it's 2 shots, 2 crit shots with an iron sword, which is really good. 1, 2, and then 2 crit shots with a stone sword. My god. 1, 2, and 2 crit shots with a wooden sword. So as I said, it pretty much makes it so your damage when it comes to crit shotting with a sword is very noticeably the same on lower health enemies. The more health the enemy has though, the more noticeable this damage increase is gonna be. But it's something super useful in the early game, as it pretty much means that the wooden sword does about as much damage as what a netherite sword usually would do, because you got the 4 damage there by default, plus the added 4 melee damage that you also have, meaning you do 8 attack damage per hit, just like what a netherite sword is able to do. And so this continues to stack up. A stone sword can do 9, an iron sword can do 10, a diamond sword can do 11, and a netherite sword can do 12 attack damage per hit. Curse. You may inflict a curse to all entities in a 7-block radius every 5 minutes. So that bar that we saw at the beginning, that weird blue tinged bar, that's your curse bar. That will slowly load up over time. Now if we get ourselves, let's say we use a bunch of cows. Those are mobs that are not immune to anything useful, so let's just get a bunch of them around me. We go into survival mode, we press G or Y. It's your secondary key. As you can see, it gives the withering effect to all mobs in a close radius to you. Now, it doesn't do anything to really kill, even with cows. It does a fair amount of damage, making it so it'd be probably easy to kill these type of mobs that are around you. But at the same time, you already do one fist punches anyway. Like what? Dead. We get a new cow. Dead. Oh no, he lived it. But it's like, it's a very nice extra damage that you may need to use in situations where you're surrounded, when you need to do a lot of damage at once to make it easier just to one-shot everything that's around you. But again, it's not nothing major really. Vital energy. You can't feed on normal food. However, you can gain energy by killing other entities and absorbing their vital energy. So that sound effect you've been hearing this entire time as I've killed mobs is actually me increasing in hunger. So if we go up here to a height where I can take some pretty easy... Oh wow, there we are. Now we're through the saturation layer of our hunger. If we go back over, if we get this cow over here, as you can see, we've got 2 chunks there. We get this cow over here and we one-shot it. We're back to full hunger. Pretty good, considering that you can't eat any form of food. Being able to simply kill most mobs in order to get an increase in your hunger is super duper useful. Now what if you want to upgrade your armor? Well, there is one way that you can actually do it, but it requires access to a certain... Getting ourselves some ancient debris, which, why am I so... Oh, there... So throwing that on the ground there, as you can see, we go away, we got iron armor. We pick that up, let the sounds go through. So what happens here is that the upgrade of your armor is attached to the advancement of picking up nether debris. That does make it so that you can get max netherite armor by simply getting nether debris, but there's not really too much of another way they can attach it to another enchantment, that enhancement that makes it a little more difficult. Maybe getting yourself some armor in the first place, a nether piece armor, I don't know. It's one of its own things. I'm fine with it being this way. Originally, when I looked at this origin over a year ago for a very crappy video, I didn't like it so much, but you know, it's what it is. So once you do this, you get a full set of netherite armor. This netherite armor has 3+ armor, 3+ armor toughness, and 1+ knockback resistance, with the armor points changing per piece. This also gives you an additional ability. Let's go through it. Wait, your armor looks different. That's because it is. We go through here, you've still got all the same abilities. Except for here, Spirit State. You may trigger a state of being, the Spirited State. During this, you can phase through walls and be invisible and fly. If you go past half a minute without exiting this stage though, you'll instantly disintegrate as your soul will be corrupt. So, this new ability is activated by G. It's effectively a phantom ability. You go through walls. You can fly around, but you see, if you stay in this effect for longer than 30 seconds, you will be killed on the spot. No questions asked. You stay in the ability too long. Also, it seems like you have to hold spacebar in order to float. If you let go of spacebar, you'll start to come back down. So let's wait around for a moment. Let's just burn this timer out. Let's see what happens when we go through the maximum of 30 seconds. As you can see, it killed us, because our spirited was a corrupted. But at the same time, you do keep your cursed netherite armor, mainly because you can't take that ability back, really. But yeah, why is there a well over there? Nobody knows. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, I think you'll like this origin on screen here, the Cursed Origin. It's another awesome little origin that plays around these beautiful things, and it's actually quite fun. So check out that origin, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!